All right, if you're anything like me, you've got a small amount of workspace to work with, and you've got tools laying around, sometimes lawn equipment, wood from projects, and you really don't have a lot of space to work with. And sometimes you need some help to try to figure out a different way so that you can make it better and more organized. Well, the good news is our friends over at Fleximounts went ahead and sent us over a way that we can fix some of our issues with the clutter in our garage, and that is the GL1. We are going to go ahead and show you the setup of it and some of the things that we really enjoy about this, and let's go ahead and get to it. All right, guys, welcome to the darker side of my garage. Bear with me for the lighting. But here we are at the GL1 lift. Now, I want to be completely transparent with you. Fleximounts did send me over this lift, but I did use it for a couple of weeks, and I wanted to make sure that I actually did enjoy this product before I went ahead and made this video and put this out for you guys. So I went ahead and installed this with my wife over the weekend, put everything together, loaded it up to see how I like it and how it functions. Now, for ease of use, this goes together in about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how capable you are, if it's just you, or what tools you have available to you. Now, they supply you all of the tools that you need within the box, an actual template that's going to be attached to the ceiling. Now, mind you, it's a lot easier if you don't have popcorn ceiling like I do, and you'll see that in the video, but I went ahead and installed that cardboard on the ceiling and went ahead and installed everything. Installation is super easy. The instructions are really easy as well. And running all of the cable management is almost self-explanatory. So with me and my wife handed me everything. It took me right about an hour to an hour and a half. And that's with not really fully knowing where I was going to get into and with recording, moving the camera around, things like that. So it may even go faster if you have everything else set up and you don't have to move things around like I did. Now, there are a few different things that I want to go over. This rack is meant to hold up to 300 pounds, which we went ahead and put a load bearing on there. It's not up to 300 pounds, probably somewhere around 150, maybe 200 pounds on it right now with the amount of wood that I have. 2 stacks of this is pretty dry wood back here in the back, probably 8% dry wood. And then these 3 are pretty wet. So the amount of weight here, I'd say max of 200 pounds. Actually installing these, everything is attached into your joists in the ceiling with 3 bolts that are attached to these brackets that are in the ceiling, and 4 bolts that are attached to those brackets in the ceiling with those pulleys over there. So there's a lot of bolts that are lagged right into your joists. And there are different ways that you can also make that a lot stronger and attach, 2x6s into the ceiling and make that a lot better as well. So those are some different things that you can do. Now, there are a couple of ways to raise and lower this, and it's going to be by this pole right here. There is actually a crankshaft, but we all know power is better. I don't really want to crank it up and crank it down. I probably use the exercise, but we are going to go ahead and use a drill. You can run it up, run it down. It goes really fast, really convenient. I really like to do it this way. I kind of want to ride it up there. I just haven't figured out a way to do it yet. Now, this design is really ingenious. The way that the cable management works, the cables never actually intertwine. They never get tangled up. They stay separated. Everything works really good, stays really incorporated with itself. something that it also has that I have to make sure that you guys can see. So let me point you up there. Now, and that's how easy that is. I actually did that by hand. I turned that knob by hand without any assistance whatsoever. But I like this because they come through and there's actually a lock system that you put into place to make sure that this actually never lowers down on you without this mechanism having to fail first, which I don't think is going to, because this is all locked into place. It's all really strong material, so I don't think you'll ever have an issue with it. Not that I would ever recommend it, but you could lower this whole thing down by hand with nothing. This is me turning it by hand. All right, so my final thoughts on the GL1 lift from Fleximounts. Would I purchase it? 100% I would. Is it a great addition? I think it would be a great addition for anybody that is looking to free up some space on the floor in their basement, anywhere that you're trying to get stuff up off of the floor, out of the way. I like this setup. It's easy to install. It has a great weight capacity, and it's a 4x4 space here that you can get everything up on there. You could probably put a bunch of totes on here if you want. It doesn't have to be wood. It can literally be anything. Air conditioners, totes of clothing, winter stuff, tools, things that you don't use every day or things that you don't use for that season. You can definitely load up here and send up. I have full trust in this product to lift it up out of the way and to be completely safe. Going up underneath of it, I don't think that this will have any issues. So after the 2 weeks of using it, I really like it, and I do think that you guys should go ahead and get it. So I will go ahead and show you the build process right after this. All right, so if you guys like what you've seen, go ahead and click on the link down in the description box below. Pick yourself up one today. It really helps a small YouTube channel like myself grow, expand, and bring more projects your way. I appreciate your guys' help, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. But let's go ahead and get to the build process. Okay, so I have everything super sped up here so that we could get straight into everything. Now, everything is packaged really nice. No worry about anything coming damaged. It's really safe in the box, and we're going to go ahead and pull everything out and take inventory of everything that comes in the package and see what we're actually working with here. It's got a good set of instructions that comes with it, a couple of rails, and all of the mounts that you actually need to mount to the ceiling. All right, so that piece of cardboard right there that you see me put on the floor, that is actually the template that you're going to take and actually tape on your ceiling. Now, tape also comes in the box so that you can tape that template to your ceiling. I went ahead and used some staples, which works perfectly fine, but the tape works as well. I just have popcorn ceiling, so it was a little easier just to staple mine up there. And all you'll do is go through, follow the instructions. The two brackets closest to the camera there, those will go parallel to each other, and then the pulleys will go on the opposite side of that. All right, once all of those brackets are installed, you're going to go ahead and come up here with the drive shaft. It's relatively easy to come up here and extend that drive shaft into both of those brackets. It comes with small bolts that you're going to go ahead and lock those drive shafts into place on both sides. And then right there in the middle, there's going to be two more bolts that actually hold that in place to make sure that that drive shaft does not actually collapse on itself again as well. My wife sat there and pointed those out to me as well. Now, just so that you know, all of the tools that you are possibly going to need do come in the box with the GL1 lift. You're not actually going to need any of your own tools, but I do use my own wrench. I just like using my own tools. From there, we're going to go ahead and jump into the next portion of this build, and that is going to be undoing the longer cables of this lift. And you'll see we're going to run those cable systems over to the other side and up through those pulleys. Now, it's very important that we keep the black cable on the outside and make sure that those do not get tangled up, because when you're raising and lowering, you want the white cable and the black cable to actually stay on separate ends of each other. Okay, so unfortunately, you don't actually get to see me putting this portion together. It's super easy. It has two crossbars, and that's going to put your fencing part together. That's going to be the floor of your lift that goes up and down. So I start to put this together, and it's going to be kind of off camera until my wife walks around the backside and realizes that all you get to see is my big old great head. But we go ahead and adjust that before we keep going with the rest of the video. But I am sure there are multiple different ways that you can do it. Set it up on a bench, but all I did was set that decking up on its side and installed those bars just like that. It was super easy to do. All you need is that wrench that comes in the box and your hand. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then right after that, we're going to go ahead and start unpackaging the other part of those cables. And we're going to start installing the eye bolts to that actual carriage so that we can actually have that platform of the elevator to raise up and down. So we're going to go ahead and get right into that right here. And let me say, one of the things I really do enjoy about putting this entire thing together, everything is packaged up so nicely. Everything stays out of the way. You don't have all the wires. They really could just throw the wires into the box and have everything dangling in the way. But everything stays out of the way, and the process is set up perfectly to make it almost a seamless installation. I really enjoy this setup, and I probably couldn't give you another explanation or a better way to have something like this. Something else I did want to go over, once all of this is installed and you have all of those eye bolts in place, you are going to go ahead and put a load onto this lift, because that will actually help your decking level itself out when you're raising it and lowering it. So after you do it a couple of times, it will level that out. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. And if you guys liked what you've seen, go ahead and get yourself one down in the description box below.